On today's episode, Matt and I talk about a gap year of homeschooling. So it wasn't a gap year where he just sort of hung around the house. It was a gap year where he did a Cert 3 in Screen and Media, which is fantastic. He worked, he earned some money, he met people, we went to workshops. I think that if your teenagers are struggling at school, a gap year in the middle of school is not such a bad thing to think about. He's still unruly, but he has matured tremendously as a person, and I'm really proud of what he's done. Stay tuned, watch till the end. I think you'll really enjoy it.
I think you will too.
Hello and welcome to Stories from the Red Couch. I'm Robin Cook, and today my guest is my son Matt.
Hello.
How are you going, Matt?
I'm very well. How are you?
Fabulous, of course. We are at the end. We've had these conversations before, and you might have seen some of them.
About a year ago.
Yeah, or thereabouts, where we were talking about homeschooling Matt. We're at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all over.
We're talking about what we're going to do this year. We should have actually revisited that episode and seen what we promised, what I said I would have done.
Yeah, yeah. So what did you do? What would have been your greatest achievement?
Greatest achievement, I would say, is one, TAFE, which I have received my Cert 3 in, which is very good.
It is good.
Setting up Ambo Media Makers.
So tell me a little bit about Ambo Media Makers, briefly.
Ambo Media Makers is a live streaming and multimedia studio set up in Nambour at the Old Ambulance Station. And we came up with the idea about a year ago when we had a meeting.
Late 2017, I think.
2017. Where we thought about, we had a meeting with the producer, with one of the producers at twitch.tv, and she was talking to us about like live streaming and how good it is, and we're like, what if we set up something here?
I know, it was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. And so that was Mary Kish.
Yeah.
And hi, Mary.
Hello.
That was fantastic. We just so valued your time that day.
Link a streaming thing in there.
Yeah. You were inspiring.
And so what we did then is we took it to the board, and the board's like, hell yeah. And so
go for it.
Well, we just took it and we went with it. And we got a grant.
Yep, from
Council, Sunshine Coast Council.
Thank you, Sunshine Coast Council.
Sunshine Coast Council.
Yeah.
For the $10,000 grant.
Yeah.
Which we got awarded, and spent the money wisely on camera equipment.
Yay!
And so that place is open up to public for anyone who wants to use it for video, photo. If you bring in your own camera. Yeah. Live streaming. Yep. And gaming content. Yeah.
That so kind of thing.
That's what I've been.
Radio station.
Yeah, that's my main big achievement this year.
Yeah, fabulous.
I'd say.
What else have you done this year?
I've done a lot of jobs.
Yep.
So, client jobs. Well, filmed a few things. We've done a few things for Bytes, which we'll segue into later, but we're still on this topic.
Yeah. So how was that?
Yeah.
How was it to be working? Because at that point you were 15.
Yes. And
you were working. Mm-hmm. How did you feel about the responsibility of being on the job? Can you remember what that felt like?
I can. It was interesting because you always feel nervous going into it, but as long as everything is under control, it's actually okay.
So how do you make sure everything's under control? What does that mean?
That means to make sure you have extra batteries and SD cards.
Yes.
You may have stuffed that up a few times.
So there's some lessons.
That's great learning lessons and stuff like that, which I have learned from, not to forget that sort of stuff, because otherwise your whole shoot's ruined. What they really teach us is TAFE, which is great because they really teach you to go into work. That's what I really love about TAFE. And you're very hands-on with the gear there.
Okay.
And they were saying how if you want to go into a shoot, you should take 2 cameras, case one of them dies.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you're out west. There's no camera shop nearby. You can't buy a new one.
None.
You should always have a backup camera.
Yeah.
And so we actually learned that once when our main camera, hello camera number 1, it had the sensor glass fogged up, had condensation in it or something. And so we had no camera for a few weeks. Luckily we had pre-recorded an episode. So we had to very quickly go on eBay and buy another one. Hello camera 2. Where this one came into an amazing kit and stuff like that. But that's a great thing about buying second hand.
So that was on eBay, yeah.
On eBay.
Brilliant.
It's fantastic because retail price of that was exorbitantly over what we paid for it. Second hand, and it all works like it's brand new. All of the stuff felt
fantastic,
like it was.
yeah.
It's amazing what sort of stuff you can
So
get
what
up
else
there.
did it feel like to be working? What was it like to get the money?
That's the best bit. I'd say that's what you look forward to. That's what you do the work for.
Yeah, and is so that worthwhile, you know?
I would
because
say so, yeah.
It's fairly high pressure work, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because you're in a very public. Just run us through what that looked like.
Yeah, so
describe it.
You go to a public venue. You've got cables. You're always worrying if someone's going to trip over. If you're going to,
What do you have to do to make sure they don't?
well, if you do the TAFE course, there's extensive WHS which you have to do. Run down a few of them. Tape down everything. Make sure there's no trip hazards.
Yeah.
Making sure everything is tag and tested in the right working order so it doesn't blow up.
Yep.
Handling gear with care. Handling lights with care. That's a big thing because we use all halogen. If we turn these off and I immediately went to move on, the bulbs would break.
Okay, they're that fragile.
Yeah, they're that
Amazing.
fragile.
Okay.
You could just move it. Gaff tape. Best friend of a filmmaker. Camera 3 operator. Just put that up to me to remind me. Because I usually do that every week because we do stories. But gaff tape, that's what you tape everything down with. That is your best friend. I'd say
Okay, so once you've got your workplace health and safety things done, then what's the next step in doing a job like that?
Getting all the gear ready. So turning it on, testing it, doing a little bit of recording, check that recording, see if all sound, audio, visual is working.
Yep.
And that's pretty much, you need to make sure that everything is secure.
Yes.
Sandbags and stuff like that.
How much time do you need to leave prior to the job starting to be ready?
4 hours.
4 hours. That's a long lead in, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
And does that mean when you've got your 4 hours leading in, does that mean that you're nice and relaxed? You're really confident that everything's going to work and you're just ready to run?
Yeah, because we've gone into jobs 3 hours or 2 hours leading in, you're very stressed out at the end of it because audience is coming in, you still don't have a camera clamped onto the ceiling.
Yeah, okay.
Which is hard because you need to be there many hours beforehand to do all of that stuff and then to be able to be ready and calm for when everyone rocks up. So then you look professional, so you don't look like you're running around getting all this shit together.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. Okay, so some good lessons there.
Yeah.
You went to TAFE, you've done some paid work. That's fabulous.
Yes.
Any other highlights?
I would say working with Stuffit was a highlight.
Oh, okay. So tell me about that.
I got to do a lot of stuff with them, including making a cinema ad which ran for 2 weeks in over 20 cinemas.
Fabulous.
Around the Sunshine Coast in
That was
Brisbane.
pretty cool. Now tell me, how long was the ad? How long?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. It was a 30-second ad.
30-second ad.
How long did it take to make it?
30 hours.
30 hours.
Yeah, about that.
And there were a couple of factors with that.
Yeah, that was prep and all that, but that was a very short time frame that we had to make that.
Yeah, it was like a day or something. Well, more than a day because that was 30 hours. I think that something valuable that came out of that was the ability to collaborate widely. So we collaborated with Bernadette Natoli's son Dom, who had some of the best advice, didn't he?
He did.
How fabulous was Dom?
Yeah, he had
in sharing
a lot
that
of
with
advice,
us.
Yeah.
That was great. And then with who was the cinema advertising people? Was it
Val Morgan.
Val Morgan. Yeah. So
They were very helpful.
Val Morgan were really helpful.
Yeah.
And gave us a lot of input into the technical aspects of what they needed from us.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it was great.
That was great. And we also put together a series of videos where we followed the stuffed chicken, which I came up with Lisa McNichol.
Yes.
We were in a meeting one day and we're just like, what if we had a chicken as the prep time for your film?
Yes.
Like prepping the stuffing.
I thought that was fabulous.
Yeah, and the way we shot it was also a lot of fun as well, using an iPhone SE, showing kids that they can use
an iPhone
to shoot.
Yeah, or any of those
any
smartphone.
Any smartphone made after 2016.
Yeah.
To work, otherwise it's just going to be like a potato.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want potatoes.
No, we don't want potatoes, especially when you're projecting onto a 4K screen.
Yeah. So that was brilliant. And leading from that, I mean, that's a beautiful segue into what you're actually going to be heading towards, because
definitely.
what are you doing?
I'm going back to St. John's.
You're going back to St. John's.
Which is a crazy thing for people to hear every time I say that.
I know.
Oh.
But tell me what's good about that.
What's good about that is what I was really surprised is they've given me a lot of pathways. So even before I was considering, they were like, oh, you could do this, why don't you come back? You do this. They've always been involved in me, and they're such a nice school to me. Yeah,
so even in the year that you've had away from the
they've
school,
still been involved.
You've still
in my
been
life. Yeah, it's amazing.
It is.
And so when we were discussing coming back, they were giving me all these like new certificates I could do.
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
I'm doing a Certificate 3 in Design and Engineering as a part of graphics. And I'm also doing a diploma in event management.
That's fantastic.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good qualification to have.
That's a cool qualification. Yeah. So that'll take 2 years.
It will, yes.
Yep, so year 11 and 12. Yep. And so in that diploma of event management, you'll be doing Stuff It as your project.
Yes.
So just unpack that a little bit for me. What in your mind, what does that look like?
When we were originally discussing going back to St. John's, we were thinking about me coming on as the coordinator, because what they wanted for Stuff It to begin with was it to be student run and student led. And
it is predominantly, but
the teachers take the full brunt of it.
They do. Yeah, and they carry the load.
Yeah, we just do the little itsy bitsy jobs.
Not inconsequential. They're all important jobs.
They're all important jobs.
But it's not actually managed by a student.
No, we're not like managing like the financials or like anything like that, or sponsors or stuff. I fear if students manage sponsors, we'd probably lose them all.
No, they would. I don't think so.
But I think that coming on, they've always wanted students to run it at management level.
Yes.
So we were coming up with an idea of me coming on as the director or coordinator of stuff.
Yes, yeah.
So that's
Festival
what I'll be doing as well. Is that so? Through the diploma, I will be doing the festival coordination of Stuff It Film Festival.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It is fantastic.
It really is.
And I'll probably submit a film in there as well, because I can now.
Yeah. Well, that's right. You really should.
Yeah.
So
you should as well.
Yes.
If you're in high school.
If you're in high school, anywhere in Australia, it's an international film festival.
It is.
Anywhere.
Yep.
You're a student at a high school, submit a film. It's great.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's showing at Birch Cow & Coyle Cinemas in Maroochydore.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
In doing that coordination, what areas do you think you'll be covering?
Probably I'm not too sure at the moment, because I don't know how much they will give to me to do.
Okay.
But I'm assuming it'll be a lot more than what I have previously done.
And you've got a lot of experience already. What are some of the tasks that you've already covered?
Well, I usually do all the editing and filming for Stuff It. Put together all the promotional videos and stuff like that. And and I also edit together all the movies that come in. into the shortlists and finalists. So it's easier for me up in the projection room to pause and play, so I don't have to like open up each individual ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're all ganged up.
Yeah, it is,
Okay.
which is great.
Okay.
And so that's my main jobs. Sometimes I do like packing and stuff like that.
So
yeah.
there'll be a lot more involved in that.
There will be, yes.
Okay, so that sounds exciting.
And I will also have a Year 12 certificate, my QCE.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
Yeah.
And
I was going to butt in there. It's okay, you go.
I'm also getting back my social life,
Yay!
which is fantastic. Because I'm an extrovert,
Yes.
I need to be around people.
Yes.
So having back that social life is fantastic.
It is. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've really maintained. So that's the thing about homeschooling is that, and if you're thinking about it or you're doing it, particularly if you've not done it forever and then suddenly you homeschool, it's really quite an abrupt end.
You've been in schooling your whole life, surrounded by your friends who you see every day.
And suddenly you're not.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, going into homeschool, I was really looking forward to it, of course. But I failed to see my friendships and my social life that I had developed at St. John's. I just left them
Yeah.
all, which I felt very sad about. I'm happy that I'm going back. And so what you tend to miss is the things that you didn't see beforehand. It's like I heard someone say, quote, "Why can't we know the good old days when we're in them?"
That's a good quote.
It's a great
Yeah, I
quote.
like that. That's
Yeah.
a great quote.
And so that really resonated with me about St. John's. It's not the good old days because I'm not old, of course, but it's a good analogy to say that that's what I loved, but I didn't remember it.
Yeah. So what are you going to, so clearly the things that you're going to really enjoy are hanging out with your friends every day.
Yes.
Which is fabulous.
It is.
The diploma in event management sounds pretty exciting.
Big one, yes.
Yeah, that's really
And
good.
it's in VR headset as well.
Yes,
It's
because
virtual.
it's virtual reality schooling
Yes, it's pretty cool.
every Thursday, and also catching up with your teachers who you
Yeah.
really admire and
Yeah, definitely.
feel a strong bond with. What are some of the things that were challenging when you were at school that you recognise now that you'll have
Yeah.
to deal with?
Yeah.
Because they'll still be challenging.
Of course they will. I would say drama, like the school, like a lot of school drama, like bullying and that sort of things, like seeing that happen.
Interpersonal relationship stuff
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to be a little bit less because everyone is in senior now,
Okay.
and it is a lot less in senior
Yes.
from what I've heard
Yeah.
and from what I've seen. And I would also say having, of course, like the work and stuff, because it's hard to maintain that, but having subjects that you don't like. So my subjects that I didn't like were PE, science, religion. I mean, that's another thing, but you can actually choose to do a lower religion and it gets more interesting in
Well,
senior.
it's more about ethics.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's religion and ethics. It's not what they were doing beforehand, which I didn't like. Another class was humanities, history and stuff like that. And I'm not doing any of those except for religion and ethics, which I think I like. I'm not doing any of those next year, which is fantastic because that's what I didn't like.
Yeah, good. How will you keep up with the workload?
By actually, when I get the assignment, starting it that night. which sounds easy, but not many people do that, which
Yeah.
I find weird.
Now, through the year, we went to a workshop at the university.
Which one? We went to many workshops.
I know. Sunshine Coast University, USC, University of the Sunshine Coast.
That one.
And we met Bruce Williams.
We met
There?
him at a TAFE one at Strive.
Oh, okay.
We met Bruce at the Strive event, which was held by TAFE.
Oh, yeah, but we also met him there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Sorry.
Something
We're
happened.
waffling. It doesn't matter. But what Bruce was
Sue's gonna
talking
be
about,
mad at me.
what Bruce was talking about that I really liked was how people operate. So do you work to a deadline, or do you work to a starting point?
Yeah, and he was saying how like creative people won't work to a deadline.
What they do work to a deadline. Like they don't work to a starting point. Was that the thing? Like
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's the people who
you
work
get
to
the
a deadline.
assignment. Yeah, you get the assignment and you go, oh, this looks good. I just need to check my emails. Oh, I better hang the washing out.
It's getting closer.
And I'm going over there and I'm coming down there and I'm just sliding straight into the deadline. Better get it done the night before.
Yeah. And then you get an extension and get it done that night.
How do you operate?
Bit of both.
Sorry, Bruce, if that was a bad rendition of your...
A bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
I would say.
That's what you'll do?
No.
No. What will you do?
I will work from the start.
Yeah.
So I'll get it, I'll start it. I'll make sure I start it. I'll clear out anything that I have problems with. With anyone, like teachers and stuff. Yeah, that sort of thing.
So do you think I think that you've grown and matured and changed over the 12 months that you've been away from school. How do you feel?
Well, I feel like I have as well, and I'm going back to a fresh start. So what was so good about doing homeschool this year was stepped away from it all, looked at it, and like, because if I had stayed in there, I would have continued disliking it, I would say. I wouldn't have built many as relationships that I have now. So I've stepped back and I'm really getting a clear head. Broadening my horizon and doing other stuff to come back with a fresh mind and excited.
It's like having a gap year in the middle of school.
That's what Sue said to me. You said that to me because I know she watches this.
Yeah.
She will watch this, won't she?
Yeah, of course she will.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so it's a gap year.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not such a bad thing for people to take a gap year in year 10.
What I'd recommend, if you want to take a gap year in year 10, you need to do at least a TAFE certification so you can get back in and be an actual good student so they want you back in. Don't be a
rat bag.
Bloody rat bag.
That's right. Be nice.
Be a nice person.
Kind.
Don't be shitty.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't be shitty. Be nice.
Be kind. Yes. And they have welcomed you back.
They have welcomed me back. It was not hard at all to get back in, which was amazing.
We're all a bit excited,
yes,
aren't we?
everyone is excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I was really excited when they're like, yes, of course, you can come back.
It's fabulous. It's a good school.
Fantastic, yeah.
All right.
They don't hold on to anything. They don't hold on to any grudges or anything. They just...
Yeah, well, it's about, you could walk out of the school and flick your finger up and say awful things, or you could walk out of the school and say, thank you, I need a break for a bit. And if it works, then maybe I'd like to come back.
Yes, I actually did think, because when I was there, I was like thinking, what if I did do that?
I know.
You know how you have all those thoughts in your head?
You do.
But I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah, you're so glad. That's a great piece of learning that you've had. You're so glad that you didn't pay out on them.
Like that.
That's right. Yeah.
But, also, do you want to segue into something else?
Yeah, quickly, because we've just done 23 minutes.
Oh, 22.
I know.
You know?
Lucy's moving.
Oh, are you? So, she's not facing the camera.
No, she'll just be a grey blob.
She always is. So, we have just completed something called Alice in Wonderland from Bites. I played
Which is the Budrum Youth Theatre something.
Youth Theatre Arts, I think. But
no, I don't know. Anyway.
Something. Probably is because it ends with an S. So what we did was we did a performance of Alice in Wonderland. I played the Marchair. It is currently playing on this screen right here because I'm editing. Because I put this here so we could play stuff on it. And that was a fun performance because what acting is so great about is it teaches you improvisation and teaches you how to be yourself around other people, I would say. how to really feel comfortable around people and how to act.
Bites has been fantastic, hasn't
Bites
it?
has been fantastic.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What they can do there.
You were with Mary Eccleston.
I was, yes, at Soda.
At
I
Soda.
got too old for it.
You did get too old for it. And you were sad to leave.
I
That's
was.
another
We were
interesting
both sad
thing.
to leave. Yeah, you and I were.
Sad to leave. So it's interesting, isn't it, when you do something for a while and you feel really comfortable in that space and you love it so much, but a time comes to move on.
Like, I was really nervous to move into Bites.
Yes. But how did it turn out?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Loving it even. I've loved it even more, I'd say.
Yeah. So through the rest of your life, you'll have those experiences every single time it comes to doing something different. You can then reflect on, oh, that's right, I did that then, it was okay. I felt a bit nervous, it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nervous is good because it puts you out of your comfort zone and it allows you to see more, allows you to do more.
Yeah. Fabulous. So that was a brilliant performance. We loved it.
Yes, thank you.
So much fun.
I played the March Hare and Ewan played the Hatter.
Yeah. And the two of you together were just fabulous.
Tim and I might have to do a Red Couch interview here one day.
Maybe you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
See that soon.
So well done on that. And you're thinking about whether or not you'll go to Bites next year?
I'm thinking about whether I do masterclass or not.
Yeah,
because I've outgrown senior,
Yes.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still thinking about it. Don't know yet. I'll tell you when I know.
All right, well, I think we should probably wrap it up.
I agree.
Matt and I do a little live stream podcast
At Ambo Media Makers.
at the Ambo Media Makers, where we really just go to town, don't we?
We do. We go to town at each other.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun. We love it.
That was really funny. We have no limits.
No limits.
There.
So thank you for watching. We will be back with another, normal guest.
Yes.
But until then,
I'm not normal.
Well, you are, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
On today's episode, Matt and I talk about a gap year of homeschooling. So it wasn't a gap year where he just sort of hung around the house. It was a gap year where he did a Cert 3 in Screen and Media, which is fantastic.